The battle between Golden and Taylor Swift stays tight as a new contender enters the top 10. It's time. Well, according to Mariah Carey and Cat's Eye, but maybe not quite yet on the charts. More on that moment a little bit later, but for now, let's jump into the top 10. This is the Billboard Hot 100 Top 10 for the week dated November 8th. Still at 10 is Leon Thomas with Mud.
So Mud, man, I feel like it's so like relatable to our culture. I love it. It's got like a lot of flavor in it, and the women, I love the women, so it gets you, it gets you in there with it. She said, take your time, what's the rush?
Morgan also stays at number 9.
I got better since you got gone. I mean, I live in Texas, so everyone's obsessed with Morgan Wallen. I kind of stay away from what everyone's obsessed with.
I don't listen to him. I've never been a country girl, but I know he's big. I don't actually think I've ever listened to a single song by him.
I'll be damned. I'm finally back to being who I am.
I never even heard of him. You wildin', because I don't know Morgan.
Elizabeth Taylor falls to 8.
Elizabeth Taylor, tell me for real, do you think it's for real?
The music swiftly goes right by me, yo. Hey, she cute, though. I bet if I heard it, I probably would like it, though.
So not a lot of movement in the bottom of the chart, but I am happy to see Leon Thomas still hanging in there. How we feeling about the chart this week, guys?
I mean, y'all know this. I love me some Leon Thomas, so to see him holding on, I mean, it's just truly a testament to really pushing a song. I think that's what we've seen time and time again on these charts, where we see a song that not only that the artist is really strong behind, but their fandom is really strong behind. Mutt feels like it's been here for a minute, and I'm glad it's holding on strong. I really, really am.
Yeah, and it kind of shows that there's like kind of a comeback for R&B music happening right now. Like obviously we have Leon Thomas, but we'll talk about it later, but we also have Kehlani in the top 10 now. Like having a big R&B moment right now, which is really exciting.
And I mean, I did see that information that released from the Billboard charts team about how there wasn't a hip hop R&B song, or was it just hip hop, but a song in the top, a rap, was it rap? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys,
rap,
you're here.
Rap.
What was not in the top 40 for the first time?
A rap song.
So we haven't had, as of last week, we reported we haven't had a rap song in the top 40 of the Hot 100, and it was the first time that's happened since 1990. So it's crazy, like it's, we also have an update to our rules. So Luther just dropped off the chart, but it shows that it's kind of not the best time for rap music. So, yeah.
But R&B is making a comeback. I do love to see it.
Yeah, but I got it, because I know I got to defend the rap side, because you saw this sort of ignited a lot of discussions on Black Twitter and hip hop Twitter. So, think about it. We had to go 35 years, 1 week. Something is not in the top 40. That streak is over, by the way. There are a couple rap songs now in the top 40 this week, so check out that full Hot 100 if you want to know what it is. See that little plug there? But yeah, so at this point, we're in 2025? We'd have to go another 35 years, so this will be something that we, will go to 2060 if we're talking about this streak again. So look, 1 week, it is the stat is true. I don't want to, deny it, but people who want to ring that alarm bell so quick to say hip hop is dead. I mean, after 2024 with Kendrick, Drake, everybody brought to the table last year. The guys could take a break for a week. The guys and the women could take a break for a week, and here we are again. Look at that.
Well, listen, hip hop is definitely not dead, but what we know is loud on the charts is R&B and also country. Morgan Wallen staying in the top 10 yet again. It was hilarious when we talked to the Man on the Streets people, because none of them seem to know his music, but people are listening to it.
Absolutely, like his catalog streams so well. Obviously, it's getting a ton of play on country radio. Morgan Wallen is such a fixture there. Like he's not going away. I feel like even if he's not in the top 10 of the Hot 100, he always has a song in the top 10 of our country charts. So he's really big in that fan base and in that world. And it shows just how big he is. That just from that alone, he's able to be in the top 10 of the Hot 100.
And certainly the crossover is going to continue. He just announced some tour dates for 2026. So it's one of those things where it feels like, he's had so many albums that have hung around, not only just as, big in their own time, but bled over several years. Then you've got a bunch of these songs on the Hot 100. Now he's, doing back-to-back, maybe even to back stadium tours. So It just feels like ever since 2021, really, Morgan Wallen has just been this permanent fixture at the top of the charts, touring massively. So it's just one of those eras when you look back at, a dominant country artist who ran the table for 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, Morgan Wallen's making really an all-time run. And I don't know if people really understand or appreciate that in the moment, but when we look back at this, you're gonna say, dude, that dude was killing it on all fronts.
Totally, and like, I mean, it helps that his most recent album, which is still in the top 5 of the Billboard 200, like, I think that album had, 36 songs on it, and so there's a lot of singles that you can pick from to be like, all right, now, this single's had its moment, let's move on to the next one. Like, there's a lot of options to choose from, so the fact that he has one in the top 10 now just shows that they're just moving on, and here's the next one. So.
And I do want to say one thing I think that's really smart about his strategy is you don't see Morgan out a lot. Like, Morgan really doesn't do a lot of, TV interviews, promotional things, whatever. So I think he doesn't really risk that overexposure where it just feels like, man, he is saturated, like, everywhere you turn on, every commercial, every podcast, every whatever. So the fact that the music can be the thing that keeps him caring and dominant without, you think at some point, are people like tired of him? But no, I mean, just the fact that he knows how to play that game to keep himself sort of in the background, keep the music in the foreground, that strategy is clearly working out several times over.
Yeah, totally.
Well, listen, what will be interesting to me with Morgan's history is if any of the hip-hop acts that have been leaning their voices to country, he should bring them on tour. I say make it a party.
I would like to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, who hasn't Morgan Wallen really collaborated with in the hip-hop space at this point?
Well, Dirk is his go-to.
Yeah.
Drake was in one of
in
the music videos. He did I think one of the walkouts or something.
I could see him working with like Big X the Plug or something.
Moneybagg Yo
kind of
also.
has like a country influence. I could see them, their voices blending well together on a song. So maybe he'll be next. Who knows?
Well, we also got plenty of time to talk about Taylor Swift, so I'll save that for us. Let's jump into numbers 7 through 4. Kehlani's Folded flies to number 7.
Why did you want to release that song? I just really thought it was a really cool way to come back into music after I hadn't put out music for a while. And I was pretty confident about it. I thought it was a good song. Do you think it's a good song? Do you like it? As long as you like it, I love it.
Bieber's Daisies rises to 6.
I don't know if he produced this album all by himself, but I know he managed himself through it, which is huge because he struggled a lot. I actually listened to Swag 1 and 2 every single day.
I've been a JB fan since 2014, so yeah, that's got to be probably my top favorite song right now.
Man I Need is up to number 5.
I do like that song. I had to think of a word from it. I can't, but I think I know it.
I like it. It's so fun. And she's so cute. She's a great performer. She's very sprightly, and she knows how to captivate an audience.
Opalite is steady at 4.
Not a big Taylor Swift fan. I like her older stuff, the newer stuff. It's all right.
And I can bring you
So we just talked about the comeback of R&B, and then here we have Kehlani welcoming herself into the top 10. Now I remember one of you guys talks about her on Contenders. I don't know who I should give credit to, but you guys saw this coming.
That was Trevor, I think, right?
What? You know what? If it wasn't me, it is me
Just
today.
take the credit.
Yeah, it is me today, so y'all heard
you.
it. That's right, y'all heard it here first. Yeah, this song has clearly been blowing up. And it's one of those things where nobody probably saw this coming. I mean, this is Kehlani's biggest hit, by a mile on the Hot 100. She's had 2 other top 40 hits. Both of those were collabs with Cardi B. Ring from way back, if y'all remember that, Invasion of Privacy, sort of a fan favorite. And this year was Safe. But to get Folded all the way to the top 10 is just one of those things that this song has been pushing. This song has been, doing well on R&B radio. And it really is just a song that people love. Like, people cannot get enough of this song. I'm hearing a lot of conversations that this is, for a lot of people, R&B song of the year. Like, they really hope it gets rewarded at the Grammys. Obviously brings Kehlani to a new level. And shout out to the remix pack, because it does, part of the reason it gets into the top 10 this week is there were a bunch of remixes that dropped with, let's see if I got everybody right. It's Brandy, it's JoJo, it's Tony Braxton, it's Mario, it's Neo, it's Tank, like a 6-pack EP that she put out. So all that kind of helps, but it's still the original that's doing so much of the work, so much of the fanfare. And I was one of those songs that I was spinning it all weekend. I'm like, just a great song.
Yeah, I think it's so cool that it was just a cool strategy that she got all 6 of those like R&B artists to like hop on remixes of that song. It kind of just shows that like she has the cosign from a lot of her peers and like they want to help lift her up and watch her succeed, and it's clearly worked. She's in the top 10 now for the first time. It's amazing.
And I think it's interesting. You've been talking about what the Oscars could do for K-pop, and I'd be interested to see what the Grammys will do if R&B is having such a moment. I mean, we're seeing a lot of this on the chart. We're seeing a lot of R&B really taking over the sound waves, whether it's influence or actual placements here. I would absolutely love to see Folded performed on stage at the Grammys. I'd love to see Mutt performed on stage at the Grammys, a little medley, I don't know.
Well, I was like, if it was that remix pack, like you get some of those, I mean, that, you know, from Tony to Brandy to Mario, Neo, like that whole mix of class could be crazy. Like,
yeah, you could make something amazing happen, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, what I'm thinking about is like what it says for longevity of artists and in the charts or music industry in general right now, because so many artists, like a Tinashe, like a Kehlani, they get their like big hits like 10 years after they've been in the industry.
Yeah, it's been like almost 10 years. I think Kehlani kind of broke out in like a 2016, 17.
Gangsta, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and her albums, it's not that she was sort of overlooked from the R&B space. Like her albums usually always did very well. Like people always, you know, just with her on the ground. But whatever that one hit that couldn't necessarily connect, you know, in that massive way, always sort of eluded her. I know people are saying definitely with this track, her voice sounds, you know, better than ever. She's really just sort of mastered her craft. So it's one of those things that, yeah, I mean, just goes to show that the persistence, like not only with the song we saw with Mutt, just that one song you keep working and working, but you can work, you know, like you said, Tinashe having that comeback between Nasty, No Broke Boys, that remix. Like there's a lot of second win, third win for some of these artists out there. So just one of those things, if you don't get the overnight success, don't worry about it, because there is still plenty of success to go around. And artists like Kehlani are really proving that.
And let's talk about the love for R&B continuing to Mr. Bieber. Daisies going nowhere in the top 10, actually up a spot this week.
Go ahead, believer, go ahead.
Number one believer here, babies. Yes, I am reporting and I am checking in. I am so happy to see this. I've been watching Justin Bieber on Twitch. He's been streaming as he's preparing for Coachella in April. And I think he's also been showing us more, like I mentioned this last week, but the reason why I think this album is connecting is it feels like the first time we're getting to see Justin Bieber, I think, in flaws and also in his bright spots. And I think that's why people are continuing to come back and tap into the feelings that he's created in this album. I think with Swag, it felt like urgency in the way that it felt exactly like where he was in this moment, in this time. And I think that's the feeling that's being connected and transmitted through Daisies and why it's still on the charts and why people can't stop listening to Swag. So, or maybe it's me. I don't know if it's just me, guys.
I love it, yeah.
I don't know.
I completely agree. I think it's amazing. And it's a great comeback story for Bieber. And the fact that it's been sticking around this long in the top 10 shows that like, there's a need there's a big need for him and people want to listen to his music and hear about what's going on. Like, this is amazing for him.
Well, it was you and our girl that we talked to on Man on the Street. She said she listens to Swag 1 and 2 every single day, so the believers are streaming. And somebody else everybody's streaming, our girl. Like, Man I Need, rising up to now top 5. I think we got a big hit on our hands here.
Olivia Dean, let's go. Like, this is now her first top 5 hit. Like, she's just been on a roll lately. Obviously, she's gotten a great look opening for Sabrina Carpenter on her latest tour. She just had a few shows at Madison Square Garden with her. Like, she's just getting a great look with this song. And now, like, this is one of 4 Olivia Dean songs on the Hot 100 this week. She just debuts another one. You'll have to check out the chart tomorrow to see what that song is. But, like, you know, this is just, like, another great story about an artist who, you know, she's released a couple albums before, but it really took this one song, Man I Need, to like really break out on TikTok and just show everything that she's capable of, like really bubbly, upbeat, pop, kind of neo-soul type of music, and it's really delivering. So I'm excited to see how far this song can go. Maybe to number 1, we'll see.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I would love that.
Yeah.
The girl is climbing. And of course, like I said, we'll have plenty of time to talk about Taylor Swift, so hold on just a moment. But I do want to talk about a viral moment that Billboard had over the weekend, well, over the last week of Halloween. Let's throw back to a little bit of Cat's Eye.
To have a favorite Mariah Carey music video.
Favorite Mariah Carey music video.
Well, clearly, I think it's time already. Cat's Eye has said it, Mariah has said it. It's time. But how was it to see Billboard be a part of the holiday season?
You know that meme from Euphoria where it's like Maddie's watching and she's like, wait, is this play about us? I was like, oh no, not us making the news today.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's great to see like one of our staffers have that moment of being like, yes, like.
Shout out Kyle Dennis.
Shout out Kyle Dennis for that. And also shout out the girls for being able to take it in stride. Like they was getting clown and they said, Uno reverse, you know what I mean? And they showed us that, at least they showed me that they're here to stay.
I love our coworker Frankie over here. She said that Kyle was so cutthroat for his little extra like, and now each one of you. Like everybody.
Yo, when he said like we'll go one by one, I was like, oh, that's like the teacher, like, you know, like you had a group project and it's like, I want to hear from everybody. And you're like, oh, I thought I could sacrifice somebody real quick. Yo, deadly. Like,
oh my God,
I don't think Kyle
so
playing
good.
that, but that's deadly.
And speaking of it being time, how long do we think before we are discussing the holiday tracks hitting the top 10?
Oh my God.
I don't know. I mean, you know how Mariah Carey works when like that on November 1st, that's when she starts the whole promotional campaign for All I Want for Christmas Is You. So it could be within the next couple weeks. We'll see. Like it seems like the time is now.
Yeah, my grocery store already had eggnog right in front of me as I opened the door this morning, so it's time. I mean, we know it's time, but it's really time.
Yeah.
I say next week.
Thanks for the heads up, Delisa. I gotta run to the store. I'm obsessed with eggnog, but also obsessed with the charts, so let's turn it back to the top 3. Ordinary is locked in at 3.
Ordinary, I want you laying me down to a dead and dead.
That's one of my favorite songs right now, Ordinary. Such a beautiful song.
Of the ordinary, I want you laying me down to a dead and buried.
As is Golden at number 2.
I can't stop watching it. Yes, I've heard it. I've played the video like 10 times on YouTube. Man, it's dope, brother. I love K-pop for sure. Yes, sir.
So with the 4th week at number 1 is The Fate of Ophelia.
It's a great album to put on when you want to take a walk and you can just keep walking and keep listening to the album and it just keeps you going. And it's a great background noise to like let your mind wander.
I swore my loyalty to me, myself, and I.
One of the things I love about Ordinary is we talk about it so much on the show, but when we go out into the streets and talk to fans, there's always people that are so in love with the song. It really does have a hold on the public.
It really does. Like it's kind of everywhere. Like obviously it had its moment at number 1 on the Hot 100, but it's also been number 1 on our radio songs chart for 20 weeks, which means it's the most heard song on the radio in the whole country. So it's inescapable really at this point that like, and it's had such a long run over there. Like obviously Taylor Swift has been climbing that chart as well, and Golden has been as well. But like Warren is really, it's unstoppable. So the fact that it's at 20 weeks now over there it's really impressive.
I think it's interesting when I find this a lot in metropolitan areas, New York and LA, when we talk about some of these really popular songs, people are like, I've never heard it. And it's like, babe, you're in your own world. Like you have the ability to seek out exactly what you want to hear. We have these phones and we can stream these things that we want to, but this is the entire like country. Like it's much bigger than LA, it's much bigger than New York, Chicago, Atlanta. So I encourage people who, when we introduce songs to them, take a little, like, tap in. I mean, there are some songs that every single week I hear for the first time and I'm like, hell yeah. And I go back and I really do appreciate it. And I think that is kind of what's happening with Ordinary. I think there's probably, for every person who listens to the song, there's 5 people who have never heard it before, and then they tap in and then they start hearing it everywhere. I think that's why it's still holding on, and I think that's why, like I think you said, we're probably gonna be talking about Ordinary well into next year.
Definitely.
And then Delisa, you bring up a good point, because I feel like that happened with the Taylor Swift whole Life of a Showgirl album. Like, it was huge, 4 million copies in its first week, but then you had a whole part of the internet that was like, I don't know these songs. Meanwhile, 3 in our top 10, including The Fate of Ophelia, holding on to number 1.
Obviously, Taylor has been, this massive monolith for so long that it is kind of funny to think that there are people who, okay, I mean, it's only been a few days. Like, we understand that it hasn't, fully permeated everything. But to say, like, oh, I don't know these songs, so they must not exist, is just like, such a lazy take. I mean, I agree with your point. Like, I have friends who, live in Denver or other sort of, obviously big cities, but not these sort of headphone-only culture like we have, especially in New York, where I think because so few of us really are in cars that we don't really get the same feel of what's on the radio. But they're like, it's an ordinary, a Lose Control, a Die With a Smile. They're like, oh, yo, these songs, like I hear these songs every single day, multiple times a day. And it's like, okay, so people are really exposed. Like, we're not just making this up. This is a real thing. But like, yeah, I mean, with Taylor Swift, it seems like Fate of Ophelia is probably going to be in that conversation very soon. Obviously, a month at number 1. And not only that song, but the fact that we have 2 others in the top 10 that are non-singles goes to show that people are still out there streaming, still out there finding their favorites. But with Ophelia in particular, what's a close race at number 1 this week? It sort of helps that she dropped a new version of the song towards the end of the tracking week last week, so she got a few extra sales up there to kind of make sure that lead at number 1 was pretty cushioned. But the fact that Taylor's been up there for number 1 for a month, the album is number 1 again for a 4th week as well. So Taylor's been locking this down for a month. We'll see, of course, if Golden has that shot to get back to number 1 pretty soon. But I mean, right now, it's still, once again, Taylor's time.
Yeah, and just to add too, like, there's nothing that Taylor Swift loves more than a chart race, I think. And I think usually because she comes out on top, but I think early reports, it seemed like it was a really tight race between Fate of Ophelia and Golden. But I think that was a great strategy on their part, where they were like, all right, well, let's release an acoustic version. And it's called the Alone in My Tower acoustic version, I think. And that got a ton of streams just in the few days that it was released. And that really gave it the edge over Golden. And now it's been a month at number 1, and it's a historic week.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't probably be following all the chart predictions that are not us, but it was interesting to see the fans debating on Twitter over the last week, thinking Golden would be number 1. And for her to edge it out, it's so entertaining to watch the race be that tight. How do we feel that Golden is gonna hold up week after week facing the Fate of Ophelia?
I don't know when, but I feel it in my bones quite soon that Golden will take over, only because it just feels like I can't get away from K-pop Demon Hunters, even if I tried. And I don't want to, but I really could not get away from it. I mean, they had incredible Halloween costumes, and I think they were really great this year.
A lot of cats were out there. Rumi in particular was, I think, the MVP. I saw people who were dressing up as Huntrix. It's oh, are y'all like Huntrix? It's like, no, we're Rumi. I'm like, oh, okay, we got the Beyonce in the group, clearly.
And the funny part about that whole thing is that Netflix didn't have enough time to get official merch out there, so people were being creative. They were building their own Rumi costumes.
Ooh, I know somebody in marketing getting fired for that.
That's amazing.
Okay. See, but that really goes to really goes to show just how it's almost like we can't stop it. We can't this train is it's a great train. It's completely off the tracks. There's no way to get in front of the excitement around K-pop Demon Hunters and Huntrix and Soulja Boys, and just the way that it's being received in culture. It's incredible to me. So unless Taylor Swift gets in her bag and drops some visuals and really starts to do the Taylor Swift pop thing that she does, I think Golden could really take her out. But I also know that we have Mariah Carey, so let me shut up.
We do. And then one last shout out I want to give is, I don't know if you guys have seen or heard, but EJ dropped her own solo single, an amazing ballad. So in addition to Huntrix, we now have EJ, a budding star, releasing solo music.
That's amazing. Obviously, EJ was a huge breakout from that soundtrack and from the movie, so I think it's awesome that she's capitalizing on that and releasing her own solo projects. I feel like that's what, I'm sure it's only a matter of time before we see some more from Rayami and Audrey and everybody.
Well, hopefully we'll see EJ coming up on the charts as well. Golden, we'll see if it gets back to number 1 against our girl Tay.
Yeah, I think one thing that this will come down to is radio in particular will play a big part in this race. This week, actually, Golden hits number 1 on the pop airplay chart. So kind of wonder if the airplay is starting to peak for that. Fate of Ophelia has obviously had a huge start at pop radio. It's got a little more room to grow, so radio could make a difference in the next couple of weeks to see who's out there. I think Taylor also did put up pre-orders for another version of the song that could come out down the line, so maybe a little more sales options for Taylor in the weeks coming if it starts to get a little close. So I'm sure both of these, camps are looking at this neck and neck. I still think, especially with the Academy Award and Critics Race and Grammy opportunities for Golden that people are going to look out for, I think they'll have another sort of Q4 push. But yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have like a chart race between, two major songs going back and forth. And I'm sure, both camps are not going to leave any stone unturned. And of course, the chart watchers, the K-pop fans, the Swifties, I mean, you have that kind of excitement from all those corners of the internet. This is really going to be a couple months to watch on the charts for sure.
Well, it's exciting. I love doing it with you guys every single week. Come back next week because I got some special guests for the rest of the month. So I'll see you guys then.
We'll be there.
We'll be here.
If you want more Billboard, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified on all our latest videos.